Alan Burdick, Why Time Flies, a mostly scientific investigation. Embark on a fascinating exploration of time and the intricacies of our perception of it with the book's summary of Why Time Flies, a mostly scientific investigation. Discover how time measurement evolved from sundials to atomic clocks and how science continuously seeks ways to synchronize our global understanding of time. Find out about our innermost perceptions of time and how temporal orientation and circadian rhythms influence our lives. Ponder questions of consciousness and learn about the theories of scholars like St. Augustine, William James, and Martin Heidegger, as well as perspectives from contemporary researchers who shed light on humankind's perennial fascination with time.
The Enigma of Time. Augustine's The Confessions explores the multifaceted nature of time, theology, and eternity, which remain a fascinating puzzle even as science delves deeper into the mysteries of the mind. With the Big Bang theory suggesting that time began with the universe, Augustine's philosophical musings on the subject continue to provide thought-provoking insights today. This summary presents 4 distinct viewpoints on the enigmatic nature of time. The evolution of time measurement. Scientists have calibrated global units of measure at the International Bureau of Weights and Measures near Paris, where the world's timepieces are synced to keep accurate time. The debate about whether time can be perceived at all is ongoing, with most believing that it is a property of the mind, rather than something you can sense. For centuries, people used Earth's rotation as a standard, using clocks such as Christian Huygens' gravity-driven pendulum clock and William Clement's clock, which was the first to divide the day into seconds. Britain led the way in time standardization in the early 20th century, but the arrival of the quartz clock made timekeeping even more precise. In the 1960s, atomic clocks redefined the second and revealed the gradual slowing of Earth's spin, necessitating the addition of leap seconds since 1972 to keep atomic time in sync with rotation-based time. Today, America's National Institute of Standards and Technology provides the official time through servers synced to computers and GPS devices. The Bureau takes readings from NIST's atomic clock and others worldwide and averages the differences to keep the world's timepieces ticking in sync with each other. The inner workings of time perception. The perception of time is a complex process that involves various genes, organs, and cognitive development. Psychologists describe this as temporal orientation. Our bodies have an internal circadian clock that regulates our sleep and wake cycles. However, our awareness of time goes beyond this clock and involves the coordination of different organs and senses. We perceive time in various ways, including duration, temporal order, and nowness. This perception of time develops gradually from early childhood and is a constant and subjective experience for individuals worldwide. The power of the circadian clock. The circadian clock, an ancient biological system that affects almost all animals including humans, controls our body temperature, heart rate, hormone levels, and other bodily functions. Night shift workers who disrupt their natural rhythms suffer from a metabolic disorder, while babies benefit from synchronized lighting in neonatal units, especially when fed with breast milk. The non-circadian Arctic reindeer and polar animals show various adaptations to sunlight, while humans are most sensitive to light in the mornings. Our bodies accumulate adenosine, a chemical that causes drowsiness, when we're awake, and we sleep when enough builds up. However, we cannot resist the circadian rhythm that increases our body temperature before dawn, waking us up. Therefore, understanding and respecting our biological clocks is paramount to our health and well-being. Time, movement, and space. According to Einstein's theory, time moves slower as you move faster. Jet lag causes your internal clock to desynchronize, but eating on your destination schedule may help. Circadian rhythms may be able to adjust to a Martian schedule with gradual exposure to sun-equivalent light. The perception of time. Time is a complex and elusive concept that has fascinated philosophers, scientists, and psychologists throughout history. This summary covers the different perspectives and insights on time from various fields and individuals. From Greek philosophers to modern-day scientists, time has been viewed differently, but it is generally understood to be a mental phenomenon. Time zones and synchronization have cemented time as a social convention rather than a universal constant, and the brain's processing of sensory signals creates a patchwork of reality that is never truly in real time. Language, emotions, and stimuli all influence our perception of time, making it a subjective and often frustrating experience. Despite its intangibility, time enhances our sense of agency and gives us a feeling of control over our lives. A child's conception of time. Psychologist Jean Piaget explains that a child's understanding of time differs from an adult's. At first, they conflate time with space, but eventually grasp the concept of past tense and the order of time. Developmental psychologist David Lukovich discovered that babies don't notice the synchrony between lip motion and sound as much as adults do. The sense of face/sound synchrony comes with age. A baby's brain transmits signals slower than an adult's, thus their sense of now is longer. Time is simply a word for the movement of events and sensations through us. Exploring the elusive nature of time perception. How does time fly when you're having fun? Our understanding of time perception is indirect, as we perceive light for vision, just as we perceive time when it influences us. The neuroscience of time investigates the relationship between our internal clock with a memory and external factors that affect time perception. Factors that influence time perception include emotional state, arousal, and empathy. Interestingly, Parkinson's disease, among other illnesses, can lead to time interval misjudgments. Recent studies disprove early ratio theories that suggest that people's perception of time changes as they age. Instead, time seems to pass more quickly when we're content and occupied. Seizing the present. Heidegger's Dasein theory argues that evaluating one's life isn't possible until the end. This is because time is linked to the future's allure and the fear of death, which children become conscious of as they discover their sense of self. Our perception of life's brevity defines our approach to time and shapes our existence.
As we conclude our exploration of why time flies, we see that time transcends mere measurement, encompassing our very subjective experience and perception. Delve into circadian rhythms that govern and influence our bodies, temporal orientation that shapes our consciousness, and the fact that languages and cultures have shaped how we perceive time. Bear witness to the theories and debates of renowned philosophers and scholars who questioned and reformulated our common understanding of time. Ultimately, it is our relationship with time that profoundly impacts both our individual and shared experiences, and is a vital aspect of the human condition.